Okay, now that we have set up our GACC account, we got the approval back from GACC. I'm just going to show you. Sometimes when you're trying to go back to where you started from, you'll get these strange spinning messages. And usually, what you have to do is just go back up into your browser and go back to cifer.singlewindow.cn, and it will bring you back to the main screen where you should be starting from. Sometimes you get a strange 404 error message as well. And that's how you fix it. You just go back up into your browser and start over. Keith Nuts 1 and KV5C. Sometimes these little things are tricky. Okay, let's see if we can get in. Okay, now we're in. So this is what our account's going to look like. It's already in English, so I'm in Chrome browser now. We don't need to translate this. Here's my username up here in the corner. Here's the logout button. Just wanted to show you a couple of tools that we'll need in here. The integrated query. This is application form query is where we can check in here and see. Yeah, actually, we did get this started yesterday, so it does show now that an application has been set up and saved by the enterprise. Right? So a couple of other things, account certification. Now, when we're finally ready to go to our Article 7 commodities that require support from the competent authorities, we've got our FEI number already plugged into our account. And then we will say here that we request authorization from FDA to allow us to set up our GACC account for raw nuts and seeds or whatever the category of products. And then we put in FDA as our that's what we would put in there for our competent authority. But we're not going to do that at this point. And then later on, after you've got your account set up and you want to add some more products, after you've already entered them into the export listing module, or you want to make some changes to your account, any personnel changes or address changes, anything like that, use application for modification. But for now, we're going to use this top button up here, application for registration. And this page that it takes us to shows us two different categories of products. So the top part, recommended for registration by the competent authorities, and for us, nuts and seeds. Since it hasn't been authenticated by FDA, I can't go there. If I wanted to do dried fruits right now, I wouldn't be able to go there either because it hasn't been authenticated by FDA through the system. But now when we come down to this bottom category of products, this is where we can self-register. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. So we're going to click on nuts and seed products, and we can actually go in there and get started. Now I already started filling in the mandatory places here, the different boxes that have the red asterisk. So wherever you see a red asterisk, you need to fill in those boxes. They want to know when your plant was established, what year, the date. Make sure when you put in your phone number, you put 001 for the United States, and then the rest of your phone number. You'll need to have your email addresses listed in there, because this is, if there are any issues with your account, you should receive some notifications from time to time from GACC. And if you're not certain about those notifications, you can always go back in here to the integrated query and check that application form query area. So here, license, production certificate, that's where you upload these right here. And you can see I've already uploaded a sample California Department of Public Health food processing certificate. Please note it only takes pictures or PDF files, and files all have to be under 4 meg or they won't. You can't upload those. So that's that. And then down here, now remember we're going to be doing the products that don't have to go through the competent authority. So let's go ahead. I've already added almond butter. There's the HS code for almond butter. Let's go in now and add roasted nuts, roasted almonds, and we need to choose the HS code 200819. We have walnuts. I think it's this one here, and it gives you several different CIQ codes to choose from. It's always a little bit tricky if you're not sure which one to use. Then you might want to follow up with your importer. So product brand is Keith's Nuts. Don't have to do anything on the warehouse. I produce my facility would produce 1,000 tons per year, but I only normally produce 900 tons. I'm just making up those numbers, but they want your annual capacity, the design capacity, and the actual capacity. So we save that. Down here, it doesn't, it's not mandatory to add your export history, so we can go to the next place. Now up here, they're asking for raw materials. And for the mandatory or Article 7 commodities that require competent authority approval, they're going to ask about GMOs. So since it's not mandatory up here, you don't have to fill that out. And then this one, production correspondence, this is in case you do toll processing. You can add a partner that you're working with, and then it just asks whether or not that partner you're working with is registered in country, in the domestic country, and or if they've also registered with GACC. So you'd have to fill that out. For this one, for almond butter, I put down Mark Nuts, one of my brother's company, who we work with. So then on production and processing water, it's probably a good thing to fill this out. And I guess whatever you're producing, you're always going to have some water in the facility for your employees. So in this case, I clicked on enterprise-owned water. I have a well. I test the well water. I disinfect it, and I use chlorination treatment. So then down here, they're asking for the processing methods. So we clean, we sort, we press to get our almond butter, and we do packaging. So one thing that is probably worth putting in here is a flow chart. It's not mandatory, but for all of the other commodities for the Article 7, it's been mandatory to have a production flow chart. So I'm going to just plug that one in there. They'll ask about the number of employees, the number of management and technical personnel. And then go to this page, and this is where they ask for your enterprise declaration. You can download that right here by clicking on this button. I have a blank one already prepared. So, and I've got it saved in my GACC folder, which I recommend everybody do that. So here's a GACC folder, mandatory documents, enterprise statement. It has to be in a PDF format. So we're uploading that, and actually we can download it, and I can show it to you so you can see what it looks like. Come on. So it's just a real simple statement. We declare the information materials submitted by such and such company are true and complete, meet the relevant regulations of China and the United States. Put your type out the name and position of the legal representative that you've already entered into your account, and then you need a signature, and they like stamps. So if you have a company stamp in your front office somewhere, stamp this, put the date on it, scan it back into a PDF, and then upload it into your account. Okay, so save. I'm going to save that, and now we can go to the next page, and it gives you a chance to review everything. Right now, you can see that we've uploaded our food processing certificate as our license, business license. we've uploaded a signed copy of our enterprise statement, and we also added a copy of the flow chart. Even though it wasn't mandatory, we plugged it in there. Of course, that one's for Shell Almonds. You want to for Article 7 commodities, they want a specific flow chart for each commodity that you add to your account. So now we go to preview, and it gives you a chance to see everything that you entered into your system. And you go down here, and this is where you would hit submit. So I'm not going to hit submit since this is just kind of a sample run, right? That's how we would get things set up for the Article 9 commodities where we can self-register. So it's pretty straightforward. When I hit submit down here at the bottom, this is going to send this application request directly to GACC in China. Once we go in and have our accounts authenticated by FDA or our competent authority, and you enter in the mandatory information, when you hit submit, it first goes to your competent authority. In our case, it's FDA. So then it will be sitting there in the queue, and then the FDA people who are managing the CIFER, the U.S. government CIFER portal, they'll go in there and have to find your application, your new application request that's waiting there. They'll probably go in and take a look at it and make sure that your facility is still under good standing with FDA, make sure the documents are all there, and then they forward it on to GACC for their final review and approval. So that's how you would register, those Article 9 products down here. So nuts and seed products, beverages, frozen beverages, biscuits, cakes and bread, seasonings. And then this is the section up here. In the next video, I'll show you how you go about entering these products. So, okay.